Alright, today I'm going to divide the video feedback up. This particular video is for last names from Allred to Chandler. So it's for Sharissa, Mark, Tori, Vivian, and Doug. And we'll start here with Sharissa's project. Sharissa, I feel terrible, but I was just rereading the specs for this project and noticed that it says that you work for a company, a local company who's sponsoring a benefit event. In other words, it's a fundraising event. And it can be a benefactor of your choice. So Institute doesn't work because it's not a fundraising benefit kind of event. When it says benefit event, I think that means like a charity event. So this is a really good event ad, but it doesn't meet the specs as far as the event specs go. So it needs to be a benefit event. A couple of things that I did notice, that just to give you something to think about, so I can give you some feedback. Be really careful trapping your best white space. So you do have good white space, okay? All of these three elements have nice space around them. But at the same time, because you've aligned things left, right, you've left your frame stuck here in the middle. And, you know, I'm not sure what you would do exactly differently, except one thing that might help is, instead of having a far right and a far left alignment, bring these things together. Okay? Bring them all into one strong line, and see if that doesn't open up some space for you. You know, you can bring them together in the middle so that these things are right aligned and this is left aligned. Or you can bring them all over to one side and left align them all, or right align them all. Anyway, that's that. I think I'll stop there for your feedback, since you'll probably have to change your benefit event. This next one, I believe, is Mark Baclawski's. And Mark, you've done a really nice job with this strong alignment. Let's just read it. Help your child grow. Rexburg City Flower Auction, BYU Idaho Greenhouse. So it looks like we're auctioning flowers, and we're going to do it at the greenhouse. It's not clear to me who is the sponsor of this event. It might be the greenhouse. They might be sponsoring the event, but I'm not sure how it's going to help children to grow. And I'm not sure if I'm supposed to bring money. I probably should, because it's an auction. So I guess that makes sense. But who gets my money? Does it just go to the greenhouse? Or is it somehow going to children? That needs to be made clear. Also, I like that you have some big text here, but notice that the visual weight of this text, even the size of this, is about the same as the size or the weight of this. And so these two things are competing for dominance. And the emotional appeal, I don't think, is in either one of these things, but in this photo. If you want us to feel this, if you want us to have an emotion about children, and be prompted to benefit children, then you might want to make your photo more compelling. And in particular, I guess I would think bigger. I'm not sure what's going on with this photo either. It looks like it's maybe in a book shape or something, but I don't understand why it's in a book shape. So make sure that all of your elements are working together. You know, even this graphic here, I'm not sure what exactly it means. It looks like we've got a forest that's being dwarfed by this flower. Maybe this flower represents a child towering over the adults, but it's just not clear. Could you do something to help clarify what that message is? Yeah, I think that's about the feedback I'd give you. You've got some good contrast. Just make sure that there's a clear hierarchy on the page. Which one thing is the most important that will bring people in, and then what's secondary. Okay, you've done a good job making this small and tertiary, or like third level. This is also kind of tertiary. So these two things are competing for that third level. These are competing for first level, and these are competing for, I guess in this case, second level. Okay, so that is marks. I've actually given Tori quite a bit of feedback on this. So she came to my office for feedback, and we did a one-on-one kind of feedback session. So Tori, I think I'm going to skip giving you feedback. I hope you don't mind. And we'll go on to the next one. This one is Vivian's. Vivian, the first thing that I notice, unfortunately, is that the image quality isn't very good. So do you see this dot pattern that's kind of all throughout your image? That's because the way that you scanned it, the image didn't scan well. And you'll want to look for on the scanner a way to descreen, put a descreen filter on your scan. And that way you'll have a much cleaner and a higher quality resolution and image. Then I always notice alignment. So I'm going to just talk about your alignment. I noticed it looks like you've done this nice strong alignment between these three text elements. That's great that they all align with each other. There's two things that are throwing that off. One is this quotation mark. So the quotation mark shifts that line over to the edge of this B. And so instead of having a strong straight line all the way up, when we get here, it jogs over. And I'll show you what I mean. It goes like that. Okay, and what we want is a straight line. So either hang the quotation mark off the left edge of this strong line, or just take the quotation marks off. The other thing about your alignment is that because everything is aligned to this edge, it disunifies the text in this direction away from the image, or the subjects in our image, which is the Savior and this child. So instead of aligning it to the left, why not align it to the right? Or maybe even consider flipping your photo over and then using this left alignment, but the subjects would be on the left side and the text would be over here on the right side, aligned to the left. Okay, so let's see. What is this event? Because I have been given much. Donate toys and food to children of Rexburg Orphanage. Okay, so we have a clear beneficiary, but I don't know who is sponsoring this event. I need to know who the benefactor is. Is it somebody that I will trust to give my toys and food to the Rexburg Orphanage? Maybe the Rexburg Orphanage is sponsoring this, but that's not clear. And frequently, you'll have an outside party sponsor an event, a party that has money, for example, or a party that has resources would sponsor the event. The orphanage might not have the resources to even sponsor an event. Although if this is just a donation, then that could be different. Now, the event is happening in the Taylor Chapel. How does the Rexburg Orphanage get to use the Taylor Chapel? So making it clear who the sponsor is. Maybe it's Brigham Young University, Idaho. That might, or maybe it's one of a ward or something on campus, but that needs to be clarified. I like that you've got some contrast between your text elements. They all function visually in a different way, but I think you could have more visual interest in this typography. because I have been given much, all of the text is the same. It's all the same. Give me some contrast within these words. In other words, focus. Give me a focus. Maybe a much bigger given, or something in this text that would make it stand out. Make something stand out, because right now there's nothing in the title that's very compelling, that draws me into it. So give me some contrast here. Okay, and the last one, massage benefit. This is a great image. The quality is wonderful. There is a little bit of a problem with this effect that you did on massage benefit, and that's because the G has this descender, and so the reflection doesn't work right. So there are some things you could do. You could try making massage all caps so that it all sits on one single baseline. Or you could move the G up, or you could take that effect off so you don't have that reflection effect. I like that you have highlighted some key things in here. It's still all one big paragraph once the text starts to function differently. So this word, it looks to me like right here, when you say fundraiser will be this date, this time, this place, it seems like this text all functions differently than this text above. So the relationship of these three lines to each other shouldn't be the same as the relationship of this line to this line. Proximity communicates relationships, and these four lines have more of a relationship than these two lines. So they should have a different spacing, a different amount of space between them. This is a little bit picky because it's not that bad, but right here there's a little bit of crowding. Is there a way that you can bring this away from the edge of that flower? Overall, you have nice white space. You've united everything, although this alignment isn't as strong as it could be, because you've got a strong line there, but then this is out, and so that those two alignments are off. And then the same thing that I said about the previous project is that you've aligned things over here, but the heavy part of your image is over here. So why not right align your text to unite it with this image, so both things kind of come together. And then I like that you've got your logo here, although the color on the logo clashes with this color. So think about that. It goes nicely with the candle and the flower, but it clashes with this logo color. Let's see. Let me read this just to make sure that it's clear who is the benefactor beneficiary. Metro Massagers will be hosting. Okay, great. I know who's the benefactor for charity. All individuals who come and receive a massage, 60% of the proceeds will be given directly to Michael J. Fox Foundation for Parkinson's Research. Excellent. So it's very clear to me who is the beneficiary, who is the benefactor. There is a problem with this sentence, though. All individuals who come and receive a massage therapy, 60% of the proceeds will be given. So you need to rework that, because the subject of the sentence is all individuals who come and receive a massage. And then you say 60% of the proceeds will be given to charity. Let me think about that for a minute. How could you say that so that it's not awkward between these two clauses? Could you just say 60% of the proceeds from all massages given will be donated to the Michael J. Fox, etc.? Also, AP style tells us to not use the th and the st. So just say, in fact, you probably don't need to say fundraiser again. You could probably just say May 29th, 10 to 5 p.m. So you could get rid of some of this text, and that will help to make some more space and get rid of some clutter that's not needed. You probably don't need to say located at, because we can tell this is an address. This by appointment or walk-in, that's helpful information we probably need. And this for more details, very helpful. So nice job, everybody. I hope this feedback was helpful to you. Please feel free to come in and see me, or call me if you have any other questions. I'd love to help you any way that I can to make your project successful. Thanks.